Teasing again, Mr. Tatlock.
Oh, what's he got to do with you?
Just a friendly comment in passing, like.
Well, just so's you won't go spreading it around, this lot's got to be shared between 5.
You wouldn't like to make it 6,
No,
would
I
you?
wouldn't.
You got some female company in, eh?
Look, are you trying to make bother, or is it you just fancy yourself as a funny man?
What, me? A funny man? No, not now. You can't get the false noses these days.
Oh, thank heavens for that. Oh, I've got some old comrades coming in to talk about First World War. And it might do you good to listen, because we're going to talk about Battle of Elsie.
No thanks. I've got problems of my own, thank you. Did you want me, him?
Him.
Oh. He's all yours.
Cheeky monkey.
Yeah, Mr. Tatlock, did you get them in there?
You get what?
The bottles.
Oh,
Only I was wondering if you'd seen my dad in the Rovers by any chance.
no, he weren't in there just now. Why, is he missing?
No. Just my mum wanted him for something, you know.
Oh, I see.
If you do happen to see him, though, you will tell him, won't you?
Well, there won't be much danger of that because I've got some mates coming. Oh, hey, have you ever heard of Battle of Elsie?
No.
First World War.
Oh, what?
And you're not interested?
I'm against it, like, war, I mean.
I see, and you think I'm not, eh?
No.
You sort of think I'm responsible, eh?
Well, of course I don't.
Oh, well, then you're not a bit like your mates, are you? Because most young fellas these days seem to think we old folks enjoyed it. Of course, that we do enjoy looking back on it, but that's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, entirely different. And you wrote, I'm sorry I haven't seen your dad.
You're open. It's a miracle. How did you know?
What?
That if I don't walk out of here with an ice lolly in each hand, I will be pulverized into instant smithereens.
Ah, your children aren't all that bad.
No, they're worse.
Flaming rotten trick. What colour?
Any, so long as they're the same.
Right.
What's a flaming rotten trick, apart from the fact that me and Val have been saddled with 2 3-year-old gangsters?
Frozen food and fridges.
Well, what about that? That fridge has just made my day, thanks.
Well, it's ruined mine. I've got Dennis coming for tea. Otherwise, I could have just, opened a can of beans or something.
I'm beginning to get the picture.
Yeah, well, if he's got me on widescreen to peeling about 500 ton of spuds, then you're in focus.
Well, I'm in focus then, right. See you.
See, what'll it be then, love? I think it's going to have to be a frozen chicken. All right. With all the trimmings. I don't know, it must be my split personality. Anything else? I don't know. Suppose I could always do a sponge pudding, but no, on second thoughts, I'll have a fruit cocktail. There's no hope for me yet. Well, what about you? Sorry, what was that? Hope. It looks as though it's abandoned you. Oh, no, I'm fine. I've just got a bit of headache, that's... Oh, I've got a permanent one. It's called Dennis. Has it ever brought seals home and shot them in your bath? No, not that I can recall. Well, just you be thankful that your lot's normal. Ta-ra. Well?
There's no sign of him.
Where'd you ask?
Everywhere I could think of.
He's not.
In the pub. No, he's not there.
Oh, well, that's a blessing, any road.
So I doubt if he'd go to one on his own doorstep.
No. No, I suppose not.
So we just wait then?
Yes.
Like we always do?
We mustn't judge him.
No.
There's always reasons, love. Sometimes just knowing that, being a bit tolerant, can change your whole outlook. You've got to make allowances.
I do make allowances.
Yes, I know you do. Yeah, what you doing?
Locking up?
No. Leave it.
Him?
Yes.
You're expecting him back then?
He'll be back.
Tra-la-la.
One of his ancestors was a budgie.
I was just observing, in my own subtle way, that spring is busting out all over except that it's in here.
I had a hyacinth bulb in my airing cupboard until this morning.
Come on.
Where?
Out.
Where out?
What's the point in having a few hours free if you don't take advantage of it? I fancy a trip to the zoo myself.
Oh, yeah, will you be on your own then?
Mr. Tatlock gave me it off his allotment.
take Mrs. Caldwell.
What?
And then it went all moulding up little white hairs on it and died and had to throw it in the bin.
Never mind, love. Dennis is going to take you to the zoo.
Okay, now wait a minute.
Would you?
You don't want to go to the zoo, do you, Mrs. Caldwell?
Oh, I do. I love the zoo. I haven't been for ever such a long time.
Ah, isn't it thoughtful of him?
Oh, it is. Oh, I'll go and get my things up. I won't be a minute. Here you are, Dennis. Finish that for me. There's a love.
Yeah. Oh, Jenny.
And don't forget to take your monkey nuts.
Spudface!
Marty, come in!
Hey, you not think I live another couple of streets away?
No, not saying I see so little of you.
I was fair tickled when I got your message, fair tickled. We must do this more often.
We must make habit of it,
Aye,
eh?
that's it.
Come
You're
on.
regular, make habit of
All
it.
right, take your coat off. Make yourself a cup.
Mrs. Caldwell, isn't it?
That's right.
Plenty of good tunes played on an old fiddle, isn't there, love?
Well, I've never been very musically inclined myself, only I did enjoy Ena on the harmonium.
I've seen you dancing with over 60s.
Oh, well, they always said I was very light on my feet.
As a feather, Mrs. Caldwell, as a feather. And you could tell us where Albert Tatlow resides.
Oh, in that house there, the one with the springy tulip in the window. He doesn't seem to have had much luck with his bulbs, neither.
We're having a bit of a get-together. Old soldiers like. Haven't you join us, Mrs. Caldwell?
I'm not an old soldier.
Oh, well, we can overcome anything for a pretty face. Isn't that right, Albert?
You fit then?
Oh, yes, I've got my crust for the monkeys.
Monkeys?
Well, it's very nice of you to ask me to join you, Mr.
Harley, friend to you.
Mr. Harley. Only I have a prior engagement.
Come on.
She's getting cold. Ma'am?
It'll be all right.
Yeah.
Well, it's daft to jump to conclusions.
Yes, sir. Of course it is.
Oh, love. I hope with new shop, fresh start. I hoped it to be different this time.
Now, come on. I thought we just said we weren't going to jump to no conclusions.
I'm sorry. It's just I was thinking about last time.
I know. Doesn't help, though, does it?
No. No, you're right.
Now, but I think maybe we should...
Oh,
Hello, Maggie, love.
Leslie.
You all right?
Yeah, of course I'm all right. Any tea left in that pot?
Where have you been?
I've been for a walk.
For a walk?
Yeah. There's a lovely little park just near here, and the azaleas are going to be grand in June. I'll take you up there, Maggie.
Yes, love. When it's a nice Sunday, we'll all go.
And she said that's how the row started.
Hey, I was saying to Spudface we must do this more often. Don't mind if I do.
Hey, do you recognise that mug? You should do. Little village just outside Reims.
By gum, it's lasted well.
I wouldn't part with that for a king's ransom. Old memories it fetches back.
And next time we'll bring in some members of fair section, liven up the proceedings.
We want no women. This is men's talk.
Evening, gentlemen.
Oh, hello. This is my nephew, Kenneth Barlow. He's a teacher. Sit you down.
School or university?
Technical college, actually.
My nephew teaches at university. Is he be marriage or blood?
He's married to my niece.
Mine's blood. Me sister's son.
Yes, well, shall we get started then?
Why, my nephew here, he's going to be our official biographer.
Well, I don't intend a long piece, just sort of personal reminiscences, you know, the sort of thing, about the Battle of Lys.
Vimy were better.
Look, Vimy isn't celebrating its anniversary next week, is it?
How much shall we get from paper then?
If they buy it.
I wouldn't reckon on more than a couple of bob apiece.
Oh, don't so daft, a couple of bob apiece. The way my nephew will write it up, it'll be serialised in Sunday papers. He's wrote books.
I've never heard of any.
Well, it didn't get published, actually.
My nephew's had articles printed in one of them intelligent magazines. I've a copy at home.
Yeah, we might get somebody after film rights. And you get a lot of money for film rights.
I like that. Elizabeth Taylor.
Yes, well, according to the book, the Germans were trying to capture the ports on the English Channel so that they could threaten the communications to the British Army. Now, that's what the whole thing is about, right?
You know, I'd a joint cyclist battalion if it hadn't been but for me athletics foot.
Horses. It were horses what they had at Armentiers.
Yes, well, that's a very picturesque thought, but just which did they have, horses or bikes?
Bikes.
Horses.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll put both. Now, there's nothing like a good animal story, is there? Has anybody got any interesting anecdotes along that line?
What line?
Well, horses.
What horses? We were all infantry.
Well, what I suggest is that we concentrate on the final battle, the one that resulted in the British victory on April the 29th, which, by the way, is next Friday, the day the paper comes out.
Ah, well, it started hotting up on 19th after a quietish week.
It were 22nd. I remember distinctly it were day Albert Pym were took badly with shingles.
It were 19th.
It were 22nd.
Yes, so we don't need to be too specific, do we? I mean, as I said, it's the human angle I'm after, the battle as it looked to the bloke on the ground.
I tell you how it were. Now, Jerry were here east of Lees. Here you've got Lees.
Oh, don't talk wet. They were all up to north.
Yeah. St. Christopher Medal. Given me by a smashing bit of French stuff. Didn't live far from here, she didn't. Farmhouse, about here.
Oh, give over. We don't want to hear about that.
Well, it said personal reminiscences.
Not that kind of personal.
Francois, she was called Francois.
Now, Jerry were here, Froggy here, your British here, your Royal Scots, your Camerons, your Gordon Islanders here.
Now to blooming sort.
You what?
What do you think, Mr...
You shut up. Now, for a kick-off, there weren't any Gordon Islanders. We in Miles. It were Blackwatch, and they were there.
Your kilts were massed here.
There! Here! Oh, me bloody mug!
Saw Mr. Tatlock when I was, looking for you.
Ah, put you in a real panic, eh?
A bit.
And all for nothing.
Yes. This time.
Just let me measure you, love. I don't know if it's going to be wide enough.
What about, Mr. Tatlock?
He was having some sort of a reunion. All soldiers night, I think.
Gordon doesn't approve, do you, love?
Oh, don't be daft, Pam. It's not that I don't approve it. I just don't see the point.
Well, does there have to be one?
Well, war stinks. No one's denying that.
No.
So why go glorying in it? Picking over old memories like dogs picking over old bones. Check.
I suppose they'll just have a bit of a natter. Just an excuse for a get-together, that's all. Expect they're all a bit lonely.
Your mum's quite right, you know. Often things have the simplest reasons and it doesn't do to go making them too complicated.
What about you then, Dad? What did you go off for? Was that simple?
I suppose I could say very. I felt properly full up, right to here. And I wanted to go outside for a lungful of fresh air and look at something that man hadn't made, like a blade of grass, but I don't suppose you'd understand that.
Oh, I don't know.
Gordon?
No, it's all right, love. I admire him being outspoken. Here. That film's still on.
Yes, I know. It's a war film.
Doesn't matter what you said.
I've said it.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, it's all right by me. It's all right by me if you want to drop the whole thing.
Who said anything about dropping it?
Hey, I have got a wife and kids who are doing their nuts because they want me to take them out.
I know, but what you're doing here, you know, you're doing for posteriority. And history'll thank you.
Yeah, well, I don't think anybody else will. Right, well then.
Now then, let's see, you want a bit of background, like?
Well, yes, that was the general idea.
Now, it is the 26th we're talking about.
Yes.
Well, it was a sunny day, and the poppies and the cornflowers were waving about it breeze.
Oh, I don't remember no flowers. Mud. Thick, wet mud. That's what I remember.
She used to bring me eggs from farm, did Francois.
If there had been flowers, you couldn't have had a sniff on them, not with your gas mask on.
They were using gas?
No, they weren't.
Wasn't they? Who should know? Who still suffers badly with his chest due to gas poisoning?
I can smell them cornflowers just as if it were yesterday.
There were no cornflowers.
Well, we don't seem to be getting anywhere very fast, do we? Mr. Watson, can you help at all?
I think I might.
Oh, good, great.
April 26, 1918, huh?
Yes, yeah.
Well, you can pay no mind to Aaron here for a start.
What?
He's got a memory like a sieve.
Speak for yourself.
Well, Uncle Albert then. Let's have your version.
Him? He's the last person to know out about that little schmozzle.
Uncle Albert is?
Ah,
Why?
he wasn't there. He was sent on patrol night before and got lost in blinking fog. When he got back, it was all over. Isn't that right, Albert?
When I was your age... when I was your age...
Needle got stuck.
It was criminal not to go out on a bank holiday.
Yeah, like Saturday nights.
Saturday night. A must.
Unless you was actually dying. Still, being a teenager isn't all it's cracked up to be.
Oh, well, I suppose I'd better drag my bottom off of this chair. Why don't they invent self-peeling spuds?
I'll give you a hand.
You'd better if you want to eat before Christmas.
Oh, it's alive. I thought for a minute she'd gone into competition with Madame Tussauds.
Hey, what have you done with her? Fed her to the polar bears?
Who?
Your girlfriend.
Which girlfriend? I've got hundreds.
Oh, well.
We off to?
That dump that I am pleased to call home.
We have been invited to tea.
Well, it's not tea time yet.
But it is only manners to offer to old.
It's manners to offer to see a fiancé for 5 minutes.
Which fiancé? I've got hundreds.
Madam Spuds!
It's a flaming spring. Even Mrs. Caldwell's got off with a fellow what feeds the sea lions.
Ah.
But not me. Oh, no. Everything comes before me, including a bag of flaming King Edward.
Ah, that were a very nice drop of beer, Albert. Enjoyed that. Good.
Next time, we'll bring in some feminine society and make it a real barbecue.
You must meet my nephew. Be very interesting.
Yes,
for
I'm
you.
sure it would.
Very pleasant, Albert. Very pleasant indeed. We must do it again. Make habit of it. Happen next time. I'll get my nephew to come along. Give us a bit of a talk. He does talks and all.
I'm sorry, Uncle Albert.
Subject's closed.
Only it's your own
It's
fault. If only you'd
closed.
told me. I mean, why did you let me
It's
go on?
finished and done with.
I'd never have suggested writing it if I'd known.
Oh, aye, writing. You and all.
Me?
Yeah. Why didn't you get some articles printed in them there magazines that he talks about? Right bloomin' fool you made me look.
She's not in.
You sure?
She's probably run off with the sea lion man. Was he gorgeous?
About 4 foot high and round as a melon.
So?
So what?
There's nobody here but you, me, and the woodworms. We're alone.
So we are.
Dennis, it's what you've been after all day.
Have I?
And now we are.
So you said.
Oh, I'm sorry about this afternoon. I suppose it was a bit mean.
What was?
Oh, foisting you off to the zoo like that.
Oh, don't apologise, love. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It was just I was feeling so blooming lazy. Did you?
Yeah, very much indeed.
Oh, good.
Well, you didn't want to go out, did you? And if I had have stopped in with you, Who knows what I might have done?
Dennis, what would you have done?
I had a very educational few hours, actually. Did you know, for instance, that the Peruvian llama can... Don't you want to know about the Peruvian llama?
No. I want to know what you would have done.
I said, if I'd have stayed in with you, I might have suggested that we'd been engaged for long enough already, and it was about time we named the day.
But what exactly would you have said?
I would have said... I would have said I love you, Jenny, and I want you. And I know there's a million better ways of putting it than that, but I can't think of anything else to say. And if you can't think of anything else to say either, well, you could always say yes.
That's what you would have said.
Yeah. What would you have said?
It's about time.
Mrs. Cornwall, you're looking very pleased with yourself.
Yes, well, it's not often you get the chance, is it?
Chance of what?
I've just had a very interesting conversation with ever such a nice man. Isn't it nice meeting interesting people?
I don't know, love. I never do.
I met him in the zoo.
I shall have to go round there, won't I?
Oh.
You never know what's round the Johnny Owner, do you?
Ray Flaming Langton.
Oh, you remember the name?
Couldn't forget you, love. Nobody round here could.
Nice to be remembered.
Are you on parole, or have you broken out, or what?
You misjudge me. Everybody does.
We've missed you. All of us, I'll say that for.
Oh, well, that's nice to know.
Yeah, we haven't had any good burglaries round here lately.
Mrs. Tanner, I could have you up, you know, for libel or slander saying that, but out of the goodness of my heart...
Out of the goodness of your heart. Don't make me laugh.
Well, you'll just have to wait and see till I prove it, won't you? Oh, yes, I intend being round here for some time.
I would say just until Len Fairclough gets back. Eh, Chuck?
Well, it's funny you should mention Mr. Fairclough, because I'm just going to see him.
You wouldn't dare.
When will people ever believe me?
Well, tell you what. Let me know when you do, and I'll keep indoors. I hate the sight of running blood. It'll kill you.
Well, no intention of dying yet. I'm far too young and handsome.
And you've no intention of apologising either, have you?
Well, why should I know? He's advertising for a plumber and I'm looking for a job.